expanded up to 5 heading into the fourth. But this has been a great game so far today here, Coach Kelly.
It's a great matchup with these two.
Ooh, and they went back to Muhammad right off the first play of the fourth quarter. Almost got it to go. Walls back out to Gyamfi. Little two-man game here. That's the absolute edge of the range of Dominic Walls right there. Can't get it past the front of the rim. Jody Hill one-on-one with Felix Frimpong. Must be licking his chops at that. They're feeding the hot hand right now in Muhammad.
It was just off camera a little bit, but Coach Anderson looked to their owner and Director of Business Operations for Hamilton, Rob Bowden, sitting in the corner there, and they just both shared a laugh because, as we talked about earlier, Muhammad's really had a tough time shooting the ball, and now he's 3 for 4 on his last couple outside shots.
I saw that exact same look you were talking about. And Gyamfi, who struggled today, but coming off his 2 best games as a pro, finally drops one in from mid-range.
I've seen it a lot of times before, Jason, as you're standing by your own bench and you see a couple players coming in to check in, most likely for you. Gilbert had a chance there to get a shot off before he gets subbed out, and good for him, he knocked it in.
Cola, maybe the same thing. And his bench loved that because coming into this game, Cola was 3 for his last 13 from range. And they know they need him to get it going from downtown. He's their hired gun, their sharpshooter. Nice move by Mason Archie, strong in the lane, going to the lane looking for the M1 finish.
A little bit of a late whistle there that Coach Carter would like an explanation for.
Foul number 3, Dominic Walls, his 4th foul, team's first.
A nice balanced attack for Wellington here tonight. They have 4 players in double figures. 4 of their 5, or I guess not starters, since Jeremiah Williams did not start tonight.
Yep. And when you're on the road, Jason, you really got to take care of the ball. And as you see on the box score, going into the fourth, Hamilton has 14 assists and only 6 turnovers, which is what you're looking for out of your point guard, to have a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. But for your whole team to be playing that solid is a tribute to Coach Mark Anderson.
Thomas almost lost that one on the sidelines there.
Yeah, we talked about it last time. These two teams played here in Wellington. Isaiah Thomas was really effective in small doses. But sometimes he just, as a coach, he makes you hold your breath.
And it's one of those, I'm not necessarily expecting everything out of you, just don't hurt me.
Right. Well, you have a lot of moments with him where you're saying no, 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 and then it could continue to be a no as he turns it over and misses a shot, and then occasionally he makes an unbelievable play and end it with a yes.
We've been talking about the backcourt struggles for this Wellington basketball team. Devin Scott there tipping it in. Just taking a look, Isaiah Thomas, Felix Frimpong, 9 and 8 minutes respectively, both of them with 3 turnovers. Have to tighten it up here in the fourth quarter. Bell just ran off a moving screen from Troy Taylor. Got clipped by the edge of that fire hydrant, as he mentioned.
It was more of a clothesline, I think.
Yeah.
Great defense by Gilbert.
And Muhammad got a couple of baskets to go here earlier. Now he's just battling. Gets some extended floor time. Tough pass, but got through.
That's a foul.
Fennell would have thrown that down if he didn't get touched, which he did, but no whistle either way. This game is tied at 76 with 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. I want to thank you for joining us for this game. Game number 22 in the inaugural season of the Canadian Basketball League. The new guy, Will Thompson, rebound, putback, plus the foul.
It's a bad foul there by Devin Scott.
Foul number 10, Devin Scott.
I'm going to go out on a limb here, Coach, and say Will Thompson's going to be a load to handle in the lane for the rest of this season.
Yeah, well, you can see by his body type, he takes up a lot of space without doing anything. And then to partner with his size, he's really active, and that makes him a force.
Will Thompson out of Teaneck, New Jersey. Spent 4 years at Grecian University, D2 school.
Offensive rebound off a free throw there for Hamilton is got to be frustrating for Coach Carter.
I think his team should feel lucky they had the possession arrow going their way. Once again, FIBA rules off a jump ball. Goes the way of the possession arrow.
Come on, Wellington!
Jeremiah Williams, who did not start this game and was a DNP CD on Friday night's game, finds himself out there in crunch time with the game hanging in the balance. Evan Pennell, who was on fire early, connects from the land beyond, using the phone in the downtown district to let Hamilton United know that Wellington has their first lead since the opening quarter. Another late foul call.
That's been a point of emphasis as the year has gone on, is to protect the shooters. It creates an ugly brand of basketball when shooters are getting hit on the arm and there's no whistle, because it just makes it a really difficult shot. And right there you saw a little bit of a late contest and clipped Jody on the elbow as he was shooting, which is something the referees are looking for now.
Hill hits the first. Tie this game back up at 79.
Looks like we got ourselves a ball game, Jason.
Absolutely. Forget the records. Every game between these two teams have been a battle.
Pass the ball.
He did. It was not a good pass, though. Jody Hill gets it on the glass. Mason Archie cleans up the mess.
And pass it to the wrong team.
Pennell handling it up top. Williams running off the screen. Pennell pulls up. 3 plus the foul. Will Thompson asking what happened. What happened is Evan Pennell has extended his hot streak from the first quarter all the way to the fourth. 5:41 left here in the fourth quarter. Stay tuned. We're in for quite a finish.
Nicely done.
The CBL would like to thank Delray Capital Corporation for their continued support of the Canadian basketball team.
Okay, all right, that's right. No, you're not injured, man. You're not injured, man. My fault.
You know that Butch Carter absolutely craves these opportunities. Tie game, 5:41 left. It becomes a chess match between these coaches, and I'm not saying this just because I'm sitting beside one of the coaches in this league, but it's been one of the most exciting things to watch as a commentator, because I know you guys know each other a lot, but not just that, you play each other a lot, you know the tendencies, and to talk to head coach Mil Palacio about your press, for example, to also talk to another coach about the box and one, which was thrown out by Butch Carter, which is known as not something you'd see in the pro ranks. But man, that became a bit of an issue for the teams that got to see it.
Right, well, unless you practice against it, you really are relying on your players to react on the fly to it. Great rebound.
It's been fun to see. Hope you've been following along this season. If not, still plenty of time for you to get the CBL bug in you.
Chance for Wellington to execute there out of the timeout. And they make it a turnover and a layup on the other end.
Jody Hill known for his range, his unlimited range, but some also very nice athletic finishes at the rim from Jody Hill. Hamilton United doubling as the guards get over mid-court, forcing these Wellington players to make their quick decisions.
Foul number 10, William Johnson, Smith, and Flacco foul. Team's third.
A couple weeks ago, I think that would have been a dunk for Dominique, but with this new player in, he really takes up a lot of space underneath the rim as he heads to the bench for the rest of the night with his 5th foul.
I've seen the debuts of now 3 players mid-season, and all 3 of them fouled out.
Well, they don't have the relationship with the referees to talk their way out through a few of the plays. So he's a new guy, and for one, the offense is going to go at him and try and score on him. And then another part is the referees just not being used to seeing a guy with that size or that physicalness.
That's Will Thompson fouling out in his CBL debut. Look forward to see what he's going to be able to bring in the next month of this season. Again, I think a lot of it too is these guys getting used to the FIBA rules. 5 fouls and you're out.
Including a technical foul, which would be added as a personal. We haven't had any tonight. But in almost every game this season, there's been 1 or 2, and you see that come back to bite you later on. Troy Taylor getting to the rim right there with his right hand.
Also seeing off camera, head coach Mark Anderson walked to the end of his bench and had a little chat with his backup point guard, Oliver McGlade. They may go, I know Hamilton United maybe out of necessity went to almost like a 3-guard system earlier in the season as well, with McGlade on the floor with both Taylor and Hill.
Yeah, I think their new player, Mason Archie, has given them a little more depth on the wing, but also some size on the wing. It should be a triple foul.
And that possession arrow is going to go back the other way for Hamilton United. Devin Scott had a solid first half, but has been bothered every time he gets the ball here in the second half. I think you're right, though. I think Derek Stewart tripped him up there. No foul call.
Devin let the referee know he wasn't very pleased with that, and I think they just gave him a warning. So he's got to be careful here going down the stretch.
He's playing the drums.
Scott has fouled out in a couple of games this season. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Leads the league in free throw attempts, but also finds himself in foul trouble on a regular basis. Jody Hill takes Kola off the dribble. Foul called. Kola can't believe it. And that's the voice of Butch Carter talking to the officials. It's funny, I've seen a couple of times, because the FIBA rules, as players, you're not supposed to stand up on the sidelines either, and I know the coaching box is strictly enforced in FIBA rules.
You've seen it a little bit here tonight, but some of these referees are intimidated by Coach Carter because of his background and the level that he's been at, both as a player and as a coach. But I think it's important for referees to have some dialogue with the coaching staff so that you can have some back and forth and some understanding, and there's not a wall of silence going on between the two of them.
Absolutely. And it's the FIBA rules have really just been instituted in a lot of these games in Canada recently as well, with a couple of the high school prep leagues as well, using the FIBA rules. So a lot of the officials aren't used to it as well. Bad turnover. Turnover back the other way. Foul on Chris Carter. I think we see Hamilton United getting themselves into the penalty area. and individual foul trouble. That's going to be a big story as we head into the final 4 minutes here of the fourth quarter.
Yep, with the next foul on Hamilton, that'll be both teams in the bonus with 4 minutes to go. This is when you have to be able to guard defensively. You have to be able to guard without fouling.
Jalen Thomas on Scott. Devin Scott getting into his money area. Can't get it to go, but he goes to the line to shoot two. Neither coaches seem happy with the whistles here late. Taking a look at Devin Scott, 20.6 points per game. That's good for third in the league. Shooting almost 53% from the field, 10.5 rebounds per game. Also, that leads the CBL. His assists per games have crept up, but along with that, the turnovers have as well.
It's okay.
Man,
We'll get that back.
if he could raise his free throw percentage up into the 80s, he'd be unstoppable out there. Jody Hill, crossover, step back three, his money.
Going back to Devin, as he's established himself as the best low post player we have in our league, he's seen a lot more double teams, which is why you see a little more assists, but you also see more turnovers where his decision making as he gets double teamed.
And now, on the double team, tried another three plus the foul, can't get it to go. I think he kicked the leg out a little bit of the Steph Curry action there.
3 big free throws here coming up for Evan Pennell. He can get it down to a 1-point game here with about 3 minutes to go.
Coach Mark Anderson disagrees with the call. Now the officials getting teamed up by the entire backcourt from Hamilton United. Just asking for some clarification.
It's good to see conversation going on there because you just want to communicate and you want to understand why they're calling it a certain way so that you can react on the court.
I do like the officials haven't whistled the immediate reaction. I know when the NBA really started emphasizing players with the demonstrative reactions, the problem is it's such a high energy game, passionate game. The first reaction is usually that, but as long as they calm down after the fact and want to have the conversation, as he mentioned.
It's important for an official to have thick skin.
And isn't it amazing how the makeup calls can happen so quickly in the game of basketball? Jody Hill got himself to the rim, invited the contact. You just had a feeling the whistle was going to be blown.
Well, Jody was the one that fouled on the three-point shot on the other end, and he was the one that had the conversation with the referee, and then he's extremely aggressive on the other end, and you see him go to the free throw line.
5-point lead for Hamilton United, looking to extend it at the charity stripe. We'll be back to the University of Guelph. Now, you know what? We're going to keep it right here because, Coach, I want to ask you a question. When it comes to having, earlier in the season at least, we had a situation where you had 8 players on your roster. You added the 9th. And when it came to foul trouble, how, as a coach, can you talk to your players to try to tell them to pull back but still be aggressive when it comes to foul trouble?
It's hard. I mean, it comes in practice. We try to play a lot of one-on-one in practice and try to emphasize moving your feet and not fouling defensively. But sometimes you have to go to a zone or you have to go to a less aggressive defense to try and prevent foul trouble. But it's just part of the game, and the players have to react on the court to how the referees are calling.
I can ask you that because we know it's going to be a huge storyline with 3:11 here left in the fourth quarter. Both teams in the bonus. Players all over this floor in foul trouble with the FIBA rules. 5 fouls, you are done for the game. That can make a huge difference on both these teams. FIBA rules, you only dress 10 players. So that can become quite an issue.
Here's a chance for Wellington to execute out of a timeout. Here in the last 3 minutes, they're going to have to get some stuff going towards the rim. Evan Pennell just wills his way in there, stays with it.
That was dangerous right there because I think Pennell stepped on Chris Carter. And with 2:58 to go here, we're going to take a quick timeout here at the University of Guelph. We got crunch time coming up. Garrett Kelly along with Jason Tom. Stay with us. .258 to go here in the fourth quarter. Outstanding game here tonight at the University of Guelph. Take a look at both benches. A long drive out here tonight. Quite a snowstorm hit the greater Toronto area and out here in the Wellington County. Toasty warm in here in the friendly confines of this spectacular new facility. Lots of family and kids in attendance.
He agreed with me.
Good defense there by Isaiah Thomas as he got down in the stance and really made things difficult for Mason Archie of Hamilton. Caused the travel.
They're going to their money man, Devin Scott. Tough pass to try to make. Is picked off. And Mason Archie takes some great angles to the rim.
Wellington's got to get something going towards the rim here.
Williams uses his dribble. Forces up a shot. Banks it in. Wellington will take it. Keeping this within striking distance of a 6-point deficit. Troy Taylor up top to Chris Carter, the LIU Blackbird. Skying in for the finish. Instant elevation from the Hamilton United high flyer. Devin Scott answers back. At the edge of his range, made it look easy. Troy Taylor with those big mitts. Nice ball fake and a finish. Both teams setting the highlight reel ablaze here tonight. Step back from Williams, but he gives it up to Scott. Derek Stewart on him, one of the best defenders in this league. Late call. Looked like an awful lot of ball, maybe on the follow through. Mason Archie called for the foul. Sorry, Derek Stewart called for the foul, his fourth.
Wellington's got to get organized here. They got a chance to cut it to 6, and then they have 1:17 to get a defensive stop and get something good going down the other way.
Scott hits the first. Scott adding to his CBL high of double-double performances this season.
Hamilton timeout.
Mark Anderson now calls his timeout with 1:17 left here in the fourth quarter. 98-92 for Hamilton United. Let's take a listen in here to see what Mark Anderson has to say to his troops.
This is what I
During
walk
this
into
time
in
of
council meetings.
Listen, this is where they're gonna put the two guys here. All right. So now I've got who do we have taking it out in practice? Jody. All right. Jody. All right. Yeah. Jody here. Now we've got our. Hey, this is where we're having our three guys. Listen. This is where Troy. Huh? Oliver, get Chris. So what you've got here? Hey, we're pushing down. We're pushing down. Troy, then Oliver, you're going to the corner. Mason, you roll back into this area. All right, Troy, you're coming up here. What? Yes, all three of you are pinning down. If they don't, we got to eat clock. Team, 1, 2, 3, team.
You want to see the utmost respect and confidence in your veteran players. Oliver McGlade, who hasn't played since the opening quarter, finds himself inserted back into the lineup here.
A couple possessions ago, you saw that alley-oop play that Coach Anderson drew up. He went down and high-fived Oliver after that play, which makes me think that might have been a suggestion from Oliver, who is definitely a high IQ player. He's more of a will player as compared to a skill player.
The son of a basketball coach / trainer, so you know the fundamentals are strong with Oliver.
Uh-oh.
Bad inbounds
Foul.
pass, foul. Isaiah Thomas will get himself to the line in the bonus.
Coach Anderson, I don't think he drew that up in the timeout. As you can see, he's a little frustrated right now.
Tough pass to make. Now Isaiah Thomas finds himself at the line.
Come on, Isaiah.
Out number 7, Jody Hill.
He's been perfect from the line this evening. He's the guy that Coach Carter would probably want out there.
2 more big free throws here, Jason, as only 2 seconds went off the clock, and they have a chance to get 4 straight points here.
Missed free throws hurt yet every time. It was Wellington, who was 11 of 12 from the line through 3 quarters, but here in the fourth, seen a couple, a rim out. Thomas hits the second to cut the lead 2-5.
Want to get the ball out of Troy's hands here.
Trying to force Hamilton United into some quick decisions. Devin Scott has some fouls to play with. Puts Chris Carter at the line. Carter shooting just 65% from the free throw line this season. Has a chance to get us to the point of Lawler's Law. First team to 100 points wins the game.
Coach Butch Carter was banking on the unrelated Chris Carter to miss one of these free throws here, if not both, and he knocks down the first. Knocks down both.
I know the intentional foul is something that Coach Carter went to last week as well. That was successful. Not in that particular possession there, however. Down 7, 1:04 left. Coach Carter going to draw something up for his team. Let's take a listen in.
Isaiah, I got to trust you, all right? So this is what we're doing, all right? Devin, you're going to pin down, all right? Jeremiah, you're going to come up. Neek, you're going to run in. Isaiah, I want Jeremiah to go over the top. Evan, you're going to clear, all right? So the pass is Isaiah over the top to Jeremiah here for a three-pointer. All right? Okay? All right? All right? Okay. Selling, show your hands, hit the crack, go over, all right? If nothing else, Devin, when you come off, step off, the ball, you throw a direct pass in the middle, all right? Come on.
Great work by our cameraman there, getting you right inside the huddle. Isaiah Thomas inbounding.
Nice play.
Up top. Williams can't cash it. Taylor, nice save. Breaks that pretty easily. Carter. Wow. And he's going to go to the line. Carter's found himself on the floor a couple times tonight. Trying to walk that one off.
Foul number 6 coming tonight. His third foul.
Carter had his best game of the season back on January 22nd, a 24-point performance, where he's 12 of 17 from the floor. Since then, hasn't been able to match the offensive output, but Carter really seems to touch every part of the score sheet. And he's one of those players that forces the defense to know where he is at all times. And in this game, he's hit 4 straight free throws in the final minute and a half. That has pushed this lead up to 9.
9-point game with 50 seconds. Wellington is going to have to get something going towards the rim here. Stop the clock, hopefully, and then they need to cause a turnover.
Mark Anderson's going to have to try to match that with something on the defensive end. Let's see what he has to say.
Block here. Now they're taking it out. Let's go with 3-2 right here. Actually make it a 4-1. Yeah, well, no, they just advanced it. They advanced it. So let's go 4-1. 4-1. Derek, you're the one, all right? Right here. So now, hey, guard your yard. 3 feet to both sides. 3 feet to both sides. All right, this doesn't hurt us. Baskets in here does not hurt us. It's out here. And do not foul a jump shooter. Switch everything out top and talk.
Switch everything and box out.
Come on.
You can see the comfort level there that head coach Mark Anderson has with the players he's brought in. Mason Archie speaking up in that timeout. We get it right down to Scott, looking for a quick 2. They get it. We'll probably see an intentional foul depending on who gets the ball. There it is on Archie. In just 4 games, Archie's shooting 50% from the charity stripe. Probably too small of a sample size to put too much into that number. $103.95. Just 40 seconds to go on the clock here. They're going to need something quick. They get it again. They now need a steal, does Wellington. Put Chris Carter back on the line. Hasn't quite worked as of yet, this strategy, but Chris Carter does seem to be limping a little bit there after hitting the floor hard a couple of possessions ago. Devin Scott, a little gamesmanship there. heading down to the far corner right by the bench, making it look like he was subbed off. Mason Archie was a little too smart for that, and Derek Stewart comes back to man up on D.
Hamilton continues to make their free throws, which is going to make it tougher for Wellington.
Evan Pennell, gonna guess he'll pull up. Trying to get the 3-point play via the basket and bump. Can't convert the layup, so he'll go to the line. Time running out though on Wellington. Still an opportunity to teach game situation. You can't replicate that in practice no matter how hard you try.
No, you can't give up. You got to give yourself a chance. You got to make your free throws, but they have a chance here to get a steal or a jump ball or offensive rebound. Stays here.
.105.97. We want to thank you again for joining us here tonight. Jeremiah Williams finds Devin Scott. Offensive rebound, Isaiah Thomas, Dominique Walls, plus the foul. Wellington fighting to the end. Just wondering if they're at the point where you intentionally missed the free throw. I think it's just too bad that it's Walls at the charity stripe, because he'd be the guy you'd look at for the offensive rebound.
Right. I think you try and knock it in and make it a 2-possession game, and then you got 18 seconds. You got to force a turnover now. There's not enough time on the clock to play the free throw game. I think you got to try and pressure the ball and see if Hamilton will cough it up.
There's the miss. Wow. Troy Taylor called for the foul on the box out. That's shocking.
Well,
to call a guard on a box out on a bigger man. He had position down there.
He did, and I think they said that once Devin jumped for the ball, he kept boxing out and slid underneath him.
Undercut, yeah.
But I don't know why you'd have Troy trying to box out the biggest guy in the court for Wellington. They just continue to miss free throws.
That's a good point.
Makes it tough.
But he takes right back in that position right now. Hey, I guess if he is I think he's their third leading rebounder on this team, right?
Devin's not going to be able to move Troy down there. But that's what you get is height.
And that's twice in a row that he's given up the offensive. Oh, and they can't get it to go. Devin Scott. Forlorn in the corner right now.
That would have made it a 1-possession game.
Can't believe it.
With 10 seconds or more. Timeout, Hamilton.
With just 9 seconds left here on the clock. In the meantime, why don't you get me up to date really quickly for your game against Durham United the other night as the league leading coach. How'd that game go? I know Ashton Smith, one of the leading players in this league, battling a hamstring injury for Durham United. They're definitely a different team without him.
They are. He is really the engine that makes them go. And with him hampered with a hamstring, he only played, I think, 10 or 11 minutes. And it just changes their team. And our guys played hard. We had a new player, Taekwon Gord, on board. He really helped us with some depth, and we were able to play the full 40 minutes and stay aggressive the whole time, and just continued to make it tough for them defensively, and then be aggressive going towards the rim and getting to the free throw line.
Keep your head up, not do anything.
Garrett Kelly's Scarborough Basketball Club leads the CBL, first place in the league as of right now. Been in a dogfight all season long with Durham United. We still have about a month and a half left in the season before the championship game on April 1st. So still lots of basketball to be played, and with some player personnel changes over the last couple of weeks. Lots of things can change. CanadianBasketball.com is your place for all your information. I know we have all the stats up there for the players as of right now. We will be live streaming all of our live games here at the University of Guelph. All the Wellington Basketball Club home games will be streamed live on CanadianBasketball.com. We return to Yes TV live on Family Day, February 20th at 1 p.m. That's going to be an exciting game. We're going to expect quite a crowd of families here. As time runs out on Wellington, they lose their second straight decision to Hamilton United. 1